Schöne macht Arbeit ab. He is nice, mir steht für ihr Stuster. He is nice, gerne so das. He is nice, gerne so macht.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another video of Let's Talk About It, man. And this episode is really, this one gonna be, I'm not gonna say gonna be special, but this is one I'm really gonna dive deep into, mainly because, boy, this is one I probably relate to the most, man. So, if y'all watch my videos, y'all know I trade like a lot of binary options, and what I want to speak about is the inconsistency in trading it. And it's like, you could have a great strategy, an amazing strategy at that, and still lose some trades you feel like you're not supposed to lose. And if you've been trading binary options, then you know, like, some days you feel like you're on top of the world. Other days you feel like you at the bottom of the food chain, man. And it's like, it really messes with you emotionally. It really does. And mentally as well. Like, it can really damage you. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm part of that sometimes. Like, some days I have some really high trading days, and then the next day or so, it'd be like I get really close to blowing my account. And you sit back and it's like, wow, how? I'm taking the same type of trades that I'm always taking. And that is where one of my biggest issues come in. So, as compared to Forex and stuff, when you're just trading regular foreign exchange or indices and stuff like that, you can about point out which trades are really good trades and if they're going to go in your direction or not. And even if it don't, you could hold it until it does. Whereas with binary options, for one, you're on a limited time, a very limited time. Especially if you're on pocket options and you put in like 30 seconds to a minute or something like that. You're on very limited time for that trade to go in your direction. And it's like, most of the time, you could take the same type of setups that you usually win on, and it will, you know, not go in your direction. And it's crazy because I'm gonna be honest, me and one of my trading partners, we were talking about this before, and it seemed like it really happens like on your biggest positions. When you're taking your biggest positions, that's when it seemed like it mainly happens, to be honest. Like when the market does something like that. And it really bothers me a lot, I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's like, why is it every time I take a big trade, it tends to do things like this? And it used to be like with VOD, issues that I used to run across was the market would spike up or spike down right at the last second and make me lose that trade, which I felt like was very suspect, which I've told you guys before. If you guys have been watching my videos and stuff like that, we already discussed that. But also, it just seemed like the trade will be going in the right direction the whole entire time, and then in like the last 10 seconds or so, that's when it goes out of profit. And it'd be like, dang, if I was just trading on a shorter time frame or something like that, then I would have won that trade. And it's not like you could change your time in the middle of the trade, or better yet, it's not like you could just take profit while you're in the middle of the trade, while you already have the profit that's going in and stuff like that. So it's like, a lot of the times it just becomes very inconsistent, because the trades that you usually win, you tend to start losing. And it's like, why is this happening all of a sudden? Am I doing something wrong? Am I not applying my strategy right? Am I not following the market? And it's like, even if you use the currency strength, I told you guys before. Also, I'm gonna use the example that I came across today. AUD CAD, the Australian dollar was strongest. It was the strongest pair. Had been the strongest pair all morning. And the Canadian dollar, it was pretty strong, but it wasn't as strong as the the Australian dollar. It was like a couple notches below that. So you guys know resistance can become a support. So the market was coming down to a past resistance that it haven't touched in a while. So I had felt like, okay, it's also coming into the Bollinger Bands. So I was thinking this market is definitely going to go up when it gets to this point. It's coming into the Bollinger Band. It's coming up to a very strong resistance that I feel like it's not going to become a support. And then, yeah, the Australian dollar is way stronger than the Canadian. So I'm like, I got all these confirmations. Also, the market was very, very, very oversold. It was very oversold. So after having all those confirmations lined up, you guys watch me trade, you guys watch my setups, you guys know that majority of the time, I would say about 90% of the time, that is a winning trade if I apply the strategy correctly. And I applied the strategy correctly. I took a big trade, and it's like the market just kept on going down. It actually went down nearly, I hopped in at 700. It went all the way down to 635. That's how many more points it kept going down until the market finally went up. And actually, in that same candlestick, which is a 5-minute candlestick, in that same candlestick, it went all the way down to 635 and then closed at 715. And you're just I hopped in at 700. That's where that resistance was, and also where the Bollinger Bands was. So I'm like, really? And I stopped trading 5-minute candles, but it's like the one time that I do not put in a 5-minute candle or a 3-minute candle, a 3-minute trade, the market just decides to do something like that and then work its way back up later on. And it just really makes you think, like, this is a very inconsistent market most of the time. And you try to figure out ways to counter that, like try to be more patient on your entries. And while you're being more patient, I know you find yourself also missing out on a lot of trades because you try to be more patient. You miss out on trades that you knew you should have pulled the trigger on because you was patient, and you were also skeptical of how that trade was going to go. Let's say you have a support or resistance marked up. It comes to either one of those points, but the candlestick has not closed yet. So it ends up coming to your support, and you want the candlestick to close around your support. So on the next candlestick, boom, you can go ahead and hop in. But let's say you're trying to be patient and stuff like that, and it comes down to your support, and then you got about, let's say, 20 seconds left. You're trying to wait that 20 seconds, but the market has now touched your support and bounced all the way back up, and now it didn't come back down to your support. So you had the right markups, you had everything correct, but because you were trying to be patient, you missed out on that trade, and now it's gone. And I know we've all ran across situations like that. And it's like you try to figure out what you're doing wrong, but honestly, it's nothing that you're doing wrong. I guess you could have pulled that trigger. Yes, you definitely could have pulled the trigger and went ahead and hopped in that trade if you knew your analysis was correct. You trusted in your analysis and things such as that. But with trading binary options, it could really be inconsistent because, like, with the time frames and stuff like that, you never know which time is a good time. You never know if you should be in a trade for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or 5 minutes. And it's like, let's say you had your time on, let's just go with 5 minutes, and you would have cleared that trade if it was on 3 minutes. So now by the time that 5 minute time frame came up, it has now went out of profit, and now you done lost that trade. But if you was on 3 minutes, you would have won that trade. So let's say you hop in the next trade, and now you just switch your time to 3 minutes because you tried to learn from your last lesson. You tried to learn from your last trade. But now, this trade needed more time to develop. So now you wish you would have been in that trade for 5 minutes, because you saw that it went in profit right after you had got out of your trade and lost it. So it's like, what's, and I'm being honest, I'm still trying to find the answers myself on how to counter that, how to fix that. And I've gotten better at it, like reading candlesticks on a smaller time frame, 1 minute to 30-second candlesticks, just reading, see how they're moving. Are they very volatile? Are they moving a lot? Are they respecting your support and your resistance on the smaller time frames? Stuff like that. And it's like also reading where they're at. Like, are they in the oversold area on the smaller time frame? Are they in the middle? Like, seeing stuff like that, understanding, okay, this is where the market is right now. So this is a good place to enter the trade and things such as that. And I should only be in this trade for this long, because I see on previous candlesticks it only stays in profit for a certain amount of time, and then the market continues back in its trend or whatever. So things like that is definitely stuff that you can pay attention to in order to counter it, from what I've learned. But I feel like it got to be something better. It got to be something to where you can really tell, because it's crazy how inconsistent it is, man. I'm gonna be honest. It's crazy how inconsistent trading binary options are. And if you're not, watching yourself, or honestly taking care of yourself as well, it can really damage you because of how inconsistent it is. Especially if you continue to blow accounts over and over again because of either your own mistakes or the market just, I could say, just being the market. And a lot of the times, when I blow an account, or in the past when I blew an account, it's because for one, my own mistakes, over leveraging, and also the market just being the market. Because when I do over leverage, I over leverage on what I feel like are amazing trades, great trades, like a perfect entry almost. Those are the trades that I tend to risk a lot more, because I know what that market, well, I'm not going to say I know, but from past analysis, I see that the market reacts in a certain type of way when it gets to certain levels. So that's when I tend to risk a lot more, and sometimes it go in my favor, sometimes it don't. Most of the time it don't, though. I'm being honest, most of the times it don't. And it makes you think, like, if I took a smaller position, more than likely I would have won that trade. Because I promise you, it only seems like it happens when I make a bigger risk, or take a bigger risk, I mean. But yeah, that's pretty much what I really wanted to talk about with the inconsistency in trading binary options. Sometimes the market can move in your favor, sometimes it don't, and most of the times it don't. So you have to learn to adjust. Also, the type of days. I think this week is NFP week. The market, you guys know, the market is very volatile in NFP week. You get crazy type of movements and stuff like that sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. If you guys have anything that you want to talk about with trading binary options from your experience, things that you've learned and realized over time, definitely share it down below so other people can learn from it. They may be in the same position that you are in and may need to hear what you want to, or hear what you've been through and how you adjusted, how you corrected it, and things like that. So definitely drop it down below if you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, definitely share, and turn on those bell notices, man, because we got a lot of talks like these. I love having these type of talks because I feel like a lot of people need to hear this stuff, and also I feel like a lot of you guys can relate to it. And if you guys can help each other out, or even help me out, look, I'm always a student to the game. I'm always down to learn more. So hey, if you guys have any type of knowledge, definitely share it, man. I'm gonna see you guys in this video, man. I'm out.
Let's get it, shawty. I'm ready.